Okay, so since there's so little documentation on this, other than the DVD they send you, I'm going to go over a few things. This is a 2010 plus Camaro. This one specifically is a 2013, I believe, where I am in the middle of installing an On3 turbo kit, as you can see here. This is an auto car. Their kit is designed around the manual transmissions, so their clearance issues are kind of a pain. As you can see up there, kind of, right there, I've got the turbo hung up, downpipe on, and what you can't find online is the routing of the downpipe. I would lower it, but I got the pull jacks in the way. So what you do is you come out of the back of the turbo, down this way, around the front of the AC compressor, right here, and it comes around next to the subframe, over the top of the rack and pinion. Through here, there's supposed to be a splash guard here that I took off so I could see what I was doing. And it comes down through here to this pipe, which will go out the rear end. What they tell you is to modify this on the auto cars because it doesn't normally clear the pan. Well, this one's got plenty of room here, as you can see. I could fit a whole nother pipe there. But what they don't tell you is the clearance issue here. I had taken a flap wheel on my grinder and trimmed the bell housing just a little bit. There was an unused casting there that wasn't doing anything. So I flattened it down. And the fitment on this is a lot better, but it's not where it needs to be. So I'm going to take my body hammers and tweak the pipe a little bit so this actually sits in a little further. Clearance issue here with the cooler lines. We're actually replacing these eventually with an 8AN block, replacing the whole assembly. This is actually the oil cooler, excuse me. 8AN here going forward up front to an aftermarket cooler. So these aren't too bad. I am going to have to pull those up a little higher though. Excuse me. The only thing I see is this AC line is touching the downpipe. So I need to move that some more. As you can see, I've moved it a little bit already, and it's taking a little bit of surface damage. But the main thing is the routing of this pipe and how it's routed, because you can't find pictures anywhere. Alright, so back on the Camaro. As you can see, I have the intercooler resting in position, but I think these tabs need welded to the safety bar, so I need to do that still. The On3 kit, as you can see, uses prefabbed pipes. They're actually not half bad. You have to pull the overflow bottle up and the washer fluid bottle, but I'll figure that out at a later date. So, as I showed yesterday, and I'll probably throw up a picture, the hot side and the manifolds and the downpipe are all going out to be ceramic coated, and that's where they're at now. So I have the manifolds off on both sides, and now is a good time to check your plug gap. I'm going to set it to probably 032, 035, probably a little tighter, a little more on the tight end. Boost has a tendency to blow out spark, which the LS coils will actually put out quite a bit of energy, so it's not as big of a deal, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because. I haven't got the cooling system pulled apart yet. Everything's still in place. This piece here is actually that one there. As you can see, it does not have a flange for the MAF. So this customer actually has a K&N aluminum pipe over here. Excuse the mess. And I'm actually going to take 3.5 inches out because it does have the MAF fitting. So I get that sticker peeled off, I get this cut up, and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're back at it on the Camaro. Ignore the ultrasonic cleaner over there. It's kind of obnoxious, but it's not too bad. All the hot side parts are back from ceramic coating. This is not a necessity with the On3 kit, but the customer wanted it done. So I did manage to get the drain fitting done. I'm sitting here in the front of the oil pan. As you can see, the balancer here. It's kind of a pain to put that in. You'll need a 3/8 NPT tap and a 9/16 drill bit to install that. So that makes the most sense for the front mount turbo. I got the oil cooler plate pulled off here on the Camaro. I'm going to wipe the camera off real quick. If you remember right, I have the drain and the downpipe in already. The drain right in there somewhere. There we are. On the LS3s, they have a cooler plate here. A lot of people tap this fitting for the oil pressure, but since this has a cooler, we're going to tap the cooler instead. If you have the coolant drained already, it's a lot easier, but otherwise just pull it off and get to drilling. Okay, so obviously I still have a column of oil in here. Got a pilot hole drilled. What we are going to use is actually an 11/32, because the 1/8 inch tap calls for a 21/64, but I don't have one. This one's only a hair bigger. So we use that pilot hole to get this one started, and then we'll run the tap. Alright, so hole's drilled, thread's tapped. We'll pull the tap out here. I'm going to toss the fitting in here just as a sanity check, but because this is after the filter, make doubly sure you get all of the metal out of it. The On3 kit does provide a 1/8 inch NPT to 4AN fitting, and you're going to want to seal it in there. Teflon paste, Teflon tape, RGB, something. You only run the tap down so far because they're tapered. You got construction in the background there. That way you can get it tight without bottoming all the way out, because that is tight. And then the sealant will seal it from there. So this is really the last thing I had to do on this project, besides flush this out and reassemble it. So cool. Alright, there we go. One modified oil cooler. I get this put back in the car and then run the feed line. We should be ready to start this thing. So we're getting there. Alrighty, so everything else, oh, almost dropped my phone. Everything else from here is pretty trivial. Cooler's installed, wiping everything down. You can see I got the crossover pipe on already. Modified the Y pipe for the 3-inch Flowmaster that he had on here already. Summit Racing transcooler, intercooler's mounted. From this point, there's not much else I can say, so check out the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow my social media. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping this is a help to somebody that doesn't have a disk drive handy later on.